This will be our second basketball video. Today we will cover our predictions for the 2019-2020 season. We will be discussing the predictions of our award winners, which will include the MVP, Coach of the Year, Defense Player of the Year, etc., etc. Fletcher, Nick, how you guys doing today?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm fantastic.
I'm feeling great. I'm ready to talk some ball.
All right, so who wants to start us off? We're going to start talking a little bit of current events. Scotty G, what you got going on?
Alrighty, I want to get started with the Houston Rockets, to be honest with you. Now, I know that most of y'all are going to see James Harden shooting 2 of 13 from the field and say that it was a poor night for the Rockets. But I think legitimately that the Westbrook trade so far has turned out to be a really good move, and I think that the Rockets looked really nice.
I agree.
Now, the Milwaukee Bucks are one of the top teams in the league. We know that they got the 1 seed in the East last year and went to the Eastern Conference Finals. They only lost by 6 points on a night when Harden was 2 for 13. That's why they traded for Westbrook.
Also a night where Giannis had a triple-double.
And then Westbrook also had a killer game. Did you not see how many rebounds he got? He had
17.
16, right?
16
Yeah.
rebounds.
It was 16.
His rebounding, last season, the Rockets were like bottom 5 in the league in rebounding. Westbrook is one of the most athletic point guards of all time. And I want to read you the statistic real quick. Last season, James Harden scored fewer than 20 points on 3 occasions. And in those 3 games, the Houston Rockets lost by a combined 66 points, with each one carrying a margin of at least 18. Harden only scored 19 against the Bucks, and they lost by 6, again, against one of the best teams in the league. So I think, Russ, this is exactly what they traded him for. Harden is not going to be 2 of 13 every night, and he provides that great insurance that they need when Harden.
He's one of the best scorers.
I agree.
It's the beginning of the year. We're just going to start. Harden is going to hit his stride. He's going to do what James Harden does, and that's score the basketball profoundly. He's amazing.
Wait, let's talk about this real quick. Everybody always thought that, Russ just steals boards. Can we talk about how he actually still got 16 rebounds with a completely different center? I feel like that kind of showcases that he's actually genuinely a good
He's a
rebounder.
fantastic
And I think his chaotic style of basketball fits well with the Rockets. And most people say chaotic like it's a bad thing. Like, he just looks out of control sometimes. But the thing is, he knows what he's doing. He's been doing this for so long that he can be in control while going 110% down the court.
I think the biggest flaw about Russell Westbrook, though, is that when people back off him from the 3-point line, he still shoots the ball because
He's got that mentality.
He's disrespecting me. I got to shoot this. He's not that good of a 3-point shooter, but he actually looked a little bit better from the 3 last game.
Well, I would hope he's trying to get better on the shot because last year was
abysmal,
atrocious, especially in the playoffs against Portland.
Exactly.
It was a terrible shooting performance from Westbrook, and I feel like he really tried to work on the shot, tune it up, and try to get it so he can be more of a threat from the perimeter.
Exactly.
I'm really excited to see what the Rockets team can do, though. Their role players are really good. Everyone seems to know what they're supposed to do on the court at all times. I think Mike D'Antoni is doing a great job trying to implement Westbrook in the offense.
Yeah,
Totally.
Great coach.
All right, let's move on to Kyrie Irving and the Brooklyn Nets.
Kyrie, what an opening night.
What
a great game. He really showed it up to... I mean, I think he has one of the biggest things to prove this season.
Yeah.
As a leader especially, he was...
Because he had a really rocky season.
He did not do well with the Celtics at all.
No.
Did you guys know that he actually never got a 50-point game on the Celtics?
Yeah.
But he got a 50-point game on his first game with the Nets?
That is
He
the
just looks good in a Nets jersey.
Well,
Exactly.
he does.
Another thing, Chuck, he looks happy in a Nets jersey. He looks like he's home, okay? And that's one of the key things, too. He's really enjoying himself.
Definitely feels
And in
comfortable.
Boston,
looks
he
like
just
he's
seemed out of place. He didn't like his teammates. He didn't like the system.
Yeah.
And like you guys said, it just wasn't working.
And there were all too many... They were too young. I think this team is a little bit more mature
a little bit
for
more
him.
mature.
Certainly.
Yeah. And even the younger players on the Nets just
are still
mature.
mature.
They act more mature.
Karis LeVert, he's got a very
Exactly.
mature sense of basketball. He'll do some bonehead mistakes just because he's still fourth-year player, third-year player.
And then Jared Allen, who knows his role, as a player, as a defender,
It's like Jason Tatum doesn't know what he can do for the league yet. But these young guys on the Nets, they know what they're doing because they had a season last year under D'Angelo Russell where they all kind of had to adapt to their role and let him be the star.
Yeah.
Now you're bringing in a better point guard to replace Russell. I think this team could be better.
Yeah.
Surprising me pretty early on in the season. Yeah.
Man, if Kyrie hit that street ball shot for the win, that would
That would have been amazing.
Is KD out for the whole year, though,
out
and the
for the
playoffs?
whole year.
Okay.
Whole year.
Yeah.
As is likely Klay Thompson. He's also likely out.
So this Nets team has to go without their best player for the year, and they're still gonna be like a mid-tier team in the East.
Let's talk about the Clippers real quick. The Clippers,
best team
in the league, and it's not close. Without Kawhi murdered LeBron.
Kawhi's the best
Everybody,
in
their
the league.
biggest what's it called? Their biggest thing to prove was that they didn't really have a great big, right? And then they still managed to lock down Anthony Davis.
They did not.
Anthony Davis shot 40% from the 40% from the field goal. He shot 40% from the field goal.
Anthony
Davis had 25 and 10, but you're right, Nick. He was 8 of 21 from the field.
Exactly.
Here's the more impressive stat: LeBron James with 18 points on 7 of 19 shooting.
Yeah.
He played 36
LeBron's
minutes and
never
had
played well against
18
Kawhi.
points.
Yeah.
Kawhi played 31 minutes and had 30 points on 10 of 19 shooting.
Never played well against Kawhi.
Yeah.
Lou Will gets his every night.
And the other key was the bench contributions.
Yeah.
You look at bench points. The highest scoring bench player on the Lakers was Troy Daniels, I believe, with 6 points. Contavious Caldwell-Pope, he played 27 minutes and had 0 points. You look at the
want
Clippers.
to apologize for calling Contavious Caldwell-Pope
Because
one
currently
of the
he has 1
3D
point.
Players.
I think he's got 1 point in I
In
think like
48
60
minutes.
minutes or something like that.
No, but
yeah.
the Clippers-
He has 1 point in 48 minutes. He's shooting 0% on the
My bad, everybody.
The Clippers, though, I mean, they got 38 points just between Lou Will and Montrez. And so, really, you look at this, it's their bench. They're such a deep team. This is a team that took the Warriors with a fully healthy KD to 6 games last year. You realize no other team ever
And then they
had
added
taken
2
that
top
Warriors.
10 players this year.
Totally.
That's ridiculous.
And Paul
Without
George
getting
isn't
rid of
even back.
many.
And then they also added more great defensive depth
Like
than guys
Mo
like
Harkless.
Maurice Harkless.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like they're the
And
best.
just such a good
Shamit's
team.
a nice
They're
three-point
the-
shooter.
It
They're the
also
best
doesn't help that
defensive-
the 2 great stars you added happen to be 2 of the premier perimeter defenders in the
Exactly.
NBA.
Like they have 2 of the top best players at locking down LeBron. And I think that's just such an important key factor to this team.
They will go down as one of the best defensive teams.
Honestly,
we've seen.
yeah,
No, ever.
definitely.
They will
Ever.
definitely
Probably
be
one of the best
teams
defensive teams ever. Depending on how they do against the Nuggets, probably undisputed champions this year.
I agree.
And it's only been 2 games for them.
I mean,
Like,
when you
they're
say
kind of
undisputed
stupid.
champions, it's a little early, but
I
they
know,
are
it's-
looking
it's
fantastic.
early.
I'm
just-
really excited for this team.
It's just like there's Scotty. There's just
such
no
good
flaws.
basketball, you know?
There's
Just-
no flaws.
And they also
we can't-
another big thing that everybody was talking about was that the facilitation in this team. Everybody says, "Oh, Kawhi's not that good at passing," you know.
He's a solid passer.
He had 9
improved a
assists
lot.
last
That
night.
was
He had
the
9
one
assists last
thing
night
coming into this.
in 20
It was
minutes.
like,
In 20 minutes, he had 9 assists. Can we talk about that?
That was the one flaw in Kawhi's
I
game,
don't
and
think-
he fixed it.
I don't think Kawhi has a flaw to his game anymore.
I mean, I think
None.
with Toronto, Nick Nurse tasked Kawhi. He said, "Be the floor general, be the manager of my offense."
Exactly.
If you saw them in the playoffs last year, Kawhi was playing the point guard in a half-court setting on most of their possessions, and
He
he's
was.
definitely improved as a passer.
Absolutely.
I think we should also talk real quick about the Raptors, who have actually been quite.
Pascal looks like an
They-
all-star.
Pascal looks
an
like
all-star.
Pascal looks like he's a top 25 player easily this year.
He's really embraced that role of being that guy after
Totally.
Exactly.
Kawhi's left.
Not only has he learned to score the ball with great efficiency and really take it to opposing defenses, but he's also still an amazing defender. He knows what he's doing. He knows how to get in the passing lanes. He knows how to get up and block shots.
His
He
length
knows
is
what he's
fantastic.
Exactly.
And the Raptors have also been getting contributions. In the
From
first game,
Freddie.
Van Vliet
Freddie.
had 34, but
Freddie
even in the
VanVleet.
second game when Van Vliet had 8 on 2 of 11 shooting, Kyle Lowry in their 2 games is averaging 25.5 points.
Yeah,
Next
Kyle
man up
Lowry's been
mentality.
killing it.
Next man up mentality.
Yeah.
I think that's something Nick Nurse
I think
has really
another
been preaching
super
for
important
them.
thing about this team is their ball movement. Have you seen this guys? Their ball
They're the
movement
Spurs
is
of the
actually
East.
really
They
killing
are
it.
the Spurs of the East.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's talk about Hassan real quick, and that will be our
Hassan
last.
Whiteside,
turn of
last
that.
topic.
Yeah. All right. Wow.
He's
2 first
He's
games.
been a breath of fresh air.
It looks amazing.
Wow.
He looks
16
great.
points in his first game, 19 rebounds, and then in his second game he had 22
22 and
points and 9 rebounds.
Other
I
than
missed the Blazers having the dominance.
Yeah.
yeah, other than like the clip that went viral of him just like standing in front of Jokic while Jokic just like took a shot over him.
Yeah.
Like,
he's
when you're
done great
controlling.
defensively. He's done great in the paint. I mean, his first game, he had a double-double before halftime.
Yeah.
He's just gobbling up boards, gobbling up blocks.
And like he said, he's also actually facilitating the ball quite well. Have we noticed this?
Which is something Nurkic has
and Hassan has always been notorious for being a terrible passing center.
Oh, yeah.
I think he 0.9 assists last game.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, last season, but he's actually really killing it on the passing end.
That's credit
one
to
of the
Terry
things.
Stotts.
Yeah, that's credit
for sure.
to Terry Stotts. That's credit to the mentorship of Nurkic under that system. Nurkic is teaching him how to be a better facilitator while he's out. And when Nurkic is back, they're going to be not only dominant in the backcourt, but dominant in the post
court too.
Well, yeah, Fletch, that's a big
and
point you bring
Bazemore,
up.
And Bazemore. Can we talk about Bazemore real quick?
I just want to add this in on
let's
Hassan
Scotty
really
add this.
quick. Yeah, so Fletch, you bring up a good point when Nurkic comes back. Do you think the Blazers will be able to run a lineup with Whiteside and Nurkic both in at the same time?
Even if they don't, they still have Nurkic coming off the bench, and Nurkic is going to kill it off the bench anyways. Or Hassan off the bench.
I think letting Nurkic be our sixth man with a minutes restriction just to make sure he gets back to 100%
is going to
I think that's what Scott should do
That's
first.
going to be the ideal lineup.
Especially if we're mid-season and we're like, what, probably 40 and 25 or something. Like we have a good record. We're solid.
That's a pretty nice record.
That's a pretty nice record. I don't know.
40 and 25.
But let's talk real quick about Bazemore, and then we'll actually move on to our awards. I think Bazemore is actually fitting Portland perfectly right now. I mean,
what we need.
His hustle is amazing.
He's also playing his role. Like last year he was more of a scorer, but this year he's focusing way more on defense,
he was a scorer
rebounding,
with a bad
passing.
percentage.
Exactly. And he's just killing it on the defensive end right now. Yeah.
I mean, this is one of the things that I've dogged the Blazers for in the past is going out and making these semi-minor acquisitions. Like, guys like Kent Bazemore, they're very nice. They fit our system. They'll give us, 10 and 8 on a good night. But, do they really put us any closer to a championship?
I think they do, because we haven't had this type of guard defense since Wesley Matthews.
Yeah, but the Blazers never go out and make a move by getting a Kawhi or a Jimmy Butler or any of those premier free agents or making a trade or anything. They always just kind of stay safe.
I think it's because we also have a lot
guys,
deal with our cap space right now. Our cap space, we have the worst cap space in the league right now. I think it's negative.
Not anymore.
No, I looked at it. I looked at it last night.
We got rid of Myers, and that helped a lot.
But we still have, think about this, Dame, who's making, I think, $30 million a year. CJ. We also have Bazemore, who's making 25. Hassan, who's making 25. We have a full bench.
We traded a bad contract for a bad contract.
We are currently, I believe, negative $35 million over cap space.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I don't know.
Should we actually move on to our awards?
Yeah,
I feel like we've talked about
let's
the
move
bench,
on to
right?
awards. Okay.
Yeah.
So what do we want to start with?
Let's start with. Let's actually go with Rookie of the Year.
Rookie of the Year. Okay. This is kind of a big award because there's been a lot of good rookies, but no rookies that we thought were going to be good.
No
stepping
standouts.
up.
This season so far?
This season so far. And the fact that we think the best rookie in this draft class hasn't even played yet, that's another big thing because we can't make our predictions based on that yet.
But as of right now, I think there's a couple of players that are actually really standing out.
So we're gonna give our top three. We're gonna go 3 to 2 to 1, and then we're gonna deliberate upon it.
Okay.
So who do you guys have for your number 3?
Let's start with Fletch.
For my number 3, I actually did Tyler Hero.
Okay.
I think Tyler Harrow's a good choice.
Yeah.
I actually put Tyler Hero at number 2.
He
I
was,
think
he
he's
was
having-
on the edge for me.
He had
I let
kind of
him
a
off,
slow
but just
game
barely.
last time, but I think he's going to do really well.
He's got the skills.
I think he's going to be top 5, but I don't think
he's
top
got
3.
sauce.
He's a very good shooter. He's got that sauce. He's gonna be able to put up good numbers offensively. We just don't know about the defense. There's a couple of question marks for him. He's got the tools. It's just, can he put it together?
And it's a mid-level. It's a mid-level Eastern Conference team. Probably going to be a low-seeded playoff team.
Yeah.
Usually, if a rookie pops off and helps his team to that playoff spot, usually they win Rookie of the Year. I mean, look at Donovan Mitchell a few years ago, who in my opinion, got snubbed for it with Ben Simmons.
Absolutely.
Ben Simmons should not have. Ben Simmons was what? Second, third year player.
All right, Scott, who's your number?
Yeah, so my 3, I put Kobe White. I know guys
really like Kobe.
I know guys like
I like
PJ
Kobe
Washington and Devontae Graham have been playing really well through their first 2 games. Or though I think Graham might be a second-year guy. But I know that young guys like PJ Washington, who may have been later picks, have been playing well. But I think White, in the long run, is going to be. I think he's going to be great. And I think the Bulls. Yeah,
Bulls
I
need him.
believe Chris Dunn or something is starting at them for point guard right
But
now.
no, he actually got moved to the
Yeah,
bench.
I think
he's-
that's
I think
not
it's,
going to last.
I think
for
it's
long.
like Hernan Gomez is shooting guard, and then Zach
Yeah.
Levine is playing point guard.
They don't have a
And then
ton of.
Saturansky.
Saturansky, my bad.
They don't have a
Hernan
ton of
Gomez.
scoring options.
My bad. My bad.
The Bulls are just terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think that's part of why he could win Rookie of the Year is because he's going to get the ball.
Exactly.
He's going to get a ton
Exactly.
of scoring options.
That's why I put my number 3. My number 3 is actually PJ Washington.
That was my
Can
number
we
three.
talk about
PJ
this guy?
No
PJ
flaws in his
Washington
offensive
has
game.
no flaws to his offensive game.
He was
And then
shooting threes
yeah,
very
and
well.
He
then-
was bombing threes.
Let's talk about this real quick. Hornets are not a good team, so PJ is going to get a lot of extra time. His stats are going to be inflated.
Yeah.
He actually has a really good chance at winning this award.
But the thing about that is that since he's on a terrible team,
That's true.
they're not going to get
They
the high
also
seed.
they
part of
like,
the
they like
thing,
to
yeah.
choose
That will
rookies who
hurt
help
him.
his team win games.
Yeah.
But
and that will hurt him.
it's pretty crazy that that team actually won their first game.
Oh,
That
yeah.
terrible
They
team
beat the Bulls.
beat the Bulls
the
by
Bulls.
30, wasn't it? Like something crazy. They beat them by a lot.
They beat,
no,
they beat them like 15-20.
okay.
They beat
the
them by a
Suns beat
solid
someone
amount.
else
They beat
by
them
30.
solid on that.
Yeah.
The Suns blew out the Kings.
The Kings,
And that
they
was
beat 'em by, like,
surprising.
30.
De'Aaron Fox had 8,
Yeah.
but we can talk about that
We'll talk
later.
about that. So number 2, I had Tyler Hero. Who we talked
Wait, did you even talk about your 3?
Yeah, it was PJ Washington.
Oh, my bad.
You guys agreed.
Tyler Hero, I
had
like
Tyler
him.
Hero too.
Tyler
Yeah.
Hero's, he's just.
We
he's
already
really-
I
talked
put,
about
I
him. I
put,
think we can.
I put Zion at 2.
Okay.
You
I
know,
put Zion at 2 too.
I really love Zion, and I think if he played the entire season,
Yep.
Then
I would
he's
definitely
without
put him
a
at my
doubt.
1. I think his athletic prowess is insane. I do have a little bit of a concern on how
the
much he
weight.
relies on his athleticism
Exactly.
in his game,
The
and
weight
His
he's not
knees-
going to be able
his
to
knees
bully
are-
like 7'1" NBA centers as much as he did 6'9" centers in
In college.
College,
But I would
But
make him the
he
consensus
bullied-
pick if he was healthy. But like you guys said, I'm just worried about the knee.
He bullied Gobert in the preseason, though. I mean, I know
Yeah.
it's preseason, but he actually bullied Gobert, and Gobert is renowned for being one of
He's
the best
finally
defenders.
starting to say it's just preseason. So we took him so
It
long.
took him so
It took him
long.
a while.
Used to be like,
Hey,
the
round of applause.
Preseason,
Round of
preseason,
Preseason
is a place to
premier era.
showcase your talents. Okay, that's why I was talking about that. All right, let's talk about. You said you haven't said your 2. I believe.
My number 2, hold on, okay, yeah, no. I said RJ.
I love. I think I had him at
said
my number
RJ.
1. I had him at my number 1.
Me too, Nick.
Yeah,
RJ.
let's go.
Hey, and I
his
wanna let y'all know
defense is
before I say
looking
this-
Fantastic.
He's a chucker.
He's a chucker.
But
he's
his
a chucker,
defense is
but he's
looking
just like you in
fantastic.
City League, Chuck.
Didn't he have 6 steals last game or something?
Uh,
He's actually doing really
He's
well.
working. I will
working.
give him that. He's working for New York.
RJ,
I think he can.
He did have 6 steals, Nick. And here's the thing: I want to let y'all know before I say this. I put him at my number 1 too, but I am a New York Knicks fan, so I want to put that out there. But legitimately, the guy has been balling, and he's been pretty efficient in the
Yeah,
first
he
game. He had
actually has
21
been.
points.
Yeah.
He was like 9 of 15 shooting
Yeah.
or something like that.
Yeah,
RJ
he's
looks
doing
good.
it well. He's doing well.
RJ looks great. I think, I was thinking about putting him at number 1, but I'm just thinking my number 1 hasn't had the best start, but I'm thinking if they hit their stride,
My number 1 hasn't had a
it'll
start
be
at all.
insane.
Zion.
Is it Zion for you too?
No, it is not.
What is
it? It's actually Ja.
Oh, I
It's
like
John
Ja.
Moran.
I don't.
He had a good first game.
He had a good first game. Wasn't it like 14-4?
It was a little-
It was like
It was an
like-
average game.
It was a little too.
He had like
Point
12
guard,
points.
though.
It was a little too inefficient.
I like Ja. I just don't think that he's going to get as many opportunities with Triple J's
That's
there.
the thing.
Jaren
I
Jackson
think-
Jr. is going to steal a
I
lot of
think
the buckets.
honestly, I
Jaren
think this
Jackson
rookie
Jr.
class
gonna
is
steal
absurd.
buckets, but
I think this rookie class is amazing.
this rookie class is one of the best we've seen in a while. When Bull is not being talked about for potential rookie of the year because he's stuck behind
We think it's
sitting
early.
behind
But
Jokic.
yeah, and then there's
I don't
also
think
like
he's played yet.
there's also
He
guys
hasn't
like
played.
Matisse Thybulle. There's guys like Nasir that could be
A
developed.
project, a project.
They're a project.
Nasir's a project.
I
It'll
think
take
this
a
is a
little
great year for basketball, especially
Fletch,
for
do you
the
want to
rookies.
continue too with your rookie pick that you were talking about?
while. So
Yeah, who's your number 1, Fletch?
my number 1 was John Moran. I
Yeah.
think mainly it's because he can score, he can distribute, and he can get into the passing
And plus,
lanes
he's
and
going to be
make
playing point
defensive
guard for
plays.
that team because the Grizzlies
Yeah.
don't really have
And
anyone
he's
else.
going to be playing a lot of minutes. But the one thing that
He's
hurts
very
his
well-rounded.
chances
Is that
is
it's a
that-
bad team?
it's a bad team.
It's very
and
bad.
it's
Yeah.
It's a very bad team.
That's one reason why I had Zion up there because he's got the story. He's the
And
number
he's got
1
the
pick.
team.
Everybody loves him, and the Pelicans are a decent enough team that he can still be one of the star
They
players.
could
Exactly.
sneak into the playoffs.
And they could sneak into the playoffs.
He would
Exactly.
He would need to average like 23, 8, and 4
Which
though.
honestly,
But
we
we've
don't
seen
know
that.
until
We
see
could
him
see
play.
it.
We
We've
don't
seen
know
that
until
from
we
guys
see
like
him play.
Blake
I mean-
Griffin did that. His
Exactly.
rookie
Yeah,
year.
Blake Griffin
Blake
was
Blake
22 and
Griffin popped off
13
in
his
his
first year.
Yeah.
So, all right, let's move on to our next category. I think we should.
Man?
Yeah, 6 man.
All right, 6 man.
All right, who you got
Be
at
quick.
your number 3?
My number 3, I have Eric Gordon.
I like that.
Because
Jordan, what do you think?
now the Rockets for some reason are starting Daniel House. So
For some reason.
But I think they just want him to come
I
off
think
the
they
bench.
just want Eric Gordon to come off the bench.
Yeah,
I like
run
Eric
the second
Gordon.
unit.
He's been kind of the same player his entire career.
Yeah.
I mean, he used to be a little bit more athletic, but
He's
like,
consistent.
He's
His
a
game
consistent.
And he's a good
His
shooter.
game
He's a
relies
good
on
shooter.
his shooting, not
He
as much
played
as
his role
athleticism.
great. He plays his role great.
All right, let's
And
talk
that's
about
what we need.
Fletcher's number 3.
So my number 3, uno momento. I actually said, by the end of the year, I think Kent Bazemore could actually be.
Kent, I like it.
I could actually be a good 6th man of the year candidate because Kent, he hustles on defense. He gets those steals. He can shoot, but okay. So yeah, he can shoot.
And he's a
he
great
needs
defender.
to be open, but it's really just his defensive prowess that'll help a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, so,
Scotty's
there's
number
not much more for me to say. I went with Eric Gordon too, Chuck, for all
Okay.
the reasons that you said.
I said Dennis Schroeder. Dennis Schroeder's coming off the bench this
Okay.
year. He had a good season last year.
Is he
No.
backing up?
He's
Shai
still on
Gilgeous?
OKC. They still have
Still got
Shai.
Chris Paul and
They have
Shai.
Shai
Yeah.
and Chris
Shai.
Paul. Shai. You said Shai. The first
I said
time.
Shea.
It's
It's
Shai.
Shea.
Okay, it's Shai.
Gilgeous
It's Shai.
Alexander.
But okay, they still have them starting over. I think Dennis is actually going to do pretty well off the bench. I
Okay.
think he has a chance.
Okay. I disagree, but okay.
I hate Dennis Schroeder.
I don't like him at
No,
all.
I don't like
Don't
Dennis
get me wrong. I
not
hate him
for
at all.
any particular reason other than I just don't like him.
Other than the fact that when the Warriors won Game 4, he did the Dame Time celebration.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
You mean the
Dennis.
OKC?
Okay. So
Or yeah, okay. You know what I meant. Yeah, when OKC
Dennis
won Game
is
4.
solid, but I
Avoid a
just think
sweep.
I could see it.
I think for a veteran
It's a
guy like
chance.
Dennis, I don't see him
Dennis-
surpassing
Dennis Schroeder's
like
been in the league for
Lou
like 4
and
years.
Eric Gordon and
He's been here for a
Montrez,
while.
but he
Not
could
that
be okay.
long though.
Like his 6th year.
Okay, but that's still not that long. All right.
Number 2.
Mm.
Derrick Rose.
Ooh, I have him at
Derrick
number
Rose,
1.
Derrick
I-
Rose, yeah.
I have him at
Derrick
number
Rose at
1.
number 1.
Number
I have him at number
one.
1.
Over Lou Williams.
Over Lou. I think.
Sweet Lou.
But let's talk about this. Let's talk about
Sweet
this.
Lou.
All right, let me talk.
You
All
have
right.
him
Clippers are
over.
the best team.
Let me
in
talk,
the league.
let me talk.
Clippers
All
are
right.
the best team in the league.
Thanks
Guys,
to Lou
Lou is my
Williams.
number 2.
Thanks to Lou Williams.
Let's talk
bro.
about this. All right. I think Lou is gonna average a little bit less points this year because
Why?
because he has all these scores.
Once
especially
Paul George
Kawhi.
returns,
Paul
Paul
George.
George-
Yeah.
I understand.
I think he's
once
gonna average a
Paul
lot.
George- Once Paul George and Kawhi
But
come
he's
back,
still gonna
and
Let's
they
talk
go
about
to the
D-Rose,
bench, 'cause
though.
Lou Williams
D-Rose
is
doesn't
a
have-
6th man.
D-Rose
Yeah.
doesn't have a limit because that team really doesn't have that many good guards, and he's a great scorer,
That's
and he's
fair.
going to come off the bench, and he's going to average a lot of points,
That's
and he's
fair.
going to actually help this Piston
He
team
had
a lot.
27
I
this
think
season. That's fair.
I think Lou's going to be the second because I think Lou's obviously going to average a little
Lou
bit less
will-
points because
But
he's got
Nick,
Paul George and Kawhi.
I think
to
you're
deal with.
forgetting load management. Paul George and Kawhi could both easily miss
Yeah,
20 plus games, and
yeah.
Lou still comes in with that second.
I
unit
think
lead.
Kawhi is actually on a mission to try and win MVP this year, though.
That's okay.
I think he's
I think
actually
his
wants to
main
play
goal
all
is
games.
still the championship.
Kawhi's all for the championship. He didn't care about individual
Yeah,
awards.
I think I think he's still going to try.
Nick. Lou is going to average at least as many points as Derrick Rose.
I don't think he's
If
going to average.
not- if
D
not
Rose
more.
is already
If
averaging
not
like
more,
25
okay,
right now.
Okay, you need to hop off the Derrick Rose band.
I don't get me wrong. I'm not
bandwagon.
bandwagon. I like D Rose as a
He's
person,
not what he used to be. I
I
love
know,
Derrick Rose,
but D Rose has been killing it.
Lou Will's
lately.
going to average at least as many points,
Let's talk
more
about this.
rebounds, more steals,
Lou Will's a big
more
guard.
blocks. He's going to do everything better except probably
like
distribute.
a 6'4" combo guard.
Lou Will's one of the, and
Lou
I
Will.
don't get me wrong. This may sound like a little heavy, but like I think he's one of the best like ISO scorers in the league. And I'm saying when I say one of the best, I mean like top 20 here.
Yeah.
You know, because like he legitimately can get buckets one-on-one on anybody, and we saw this in the playoffs last year against the Warriors. He had like 38 or
He
something
carried
in
that
like game
team.
2.
I think he dropped like 45 a game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something like that. Him
Over his-
and Harold were going off.
D Rose is currently averaging 22. I know it's the first 2 games,
Yeah.
but D Rose is right now 22 points and 22.5,
20.
and Lou is right now at 21.5. I think it's close. But Lou and D Rose, I think D Rose is actually going to want time. I think D Rose actually has a really good chance of winning.
I will agree.
I think it's going to be close. Don't get me wrong. I don't think D Rose is going to blow him out, but I think D Rose is going to take it.
I will agree with your argument. However, I will raise you an argument.
Mhm.
D Rose and Lou Will, while their play styles are similar, while they're probably going to average similar numbers
The
coming off
team,
the bench.
obviously,
the
team.
team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again,
It's
Lou's
the
on the-
Clippers.
Lou's on the best team in the
Will's-
NBA.
Lou Will's on the best
I
team
think-
in the
I
NBA.
still
Derrick
think
Rose
he
is
does.
on a middle
but
of the road
I think
team.
D Rose actually like how do I say this? His contributions are going to be noticed a little bit more
I don't
because I think
think
no. Let me talk about this real quick. The Clippers currently have Kawhi and Paul George. All right, I think their accomplishments are going to shine a little bit brighter than Lou will. I think Lou is going to be a third player. D Rose is on this Pistons team, right? And this Pistons team is also planning on maybe trading one of their stars. So D Rose might actually get more opportunities to shoot the ball or drive in with the ball or do whatever he wants. So I think D Rose actually has a good chance at winning this. But let's move on because we have limited time to talk.
I just want to give one quick shout out to my boy Luke Kennard of the Pistons, who dropped like 30 in their first game. That guy.
He's what every white guy wants to be. All right. All right. Let's do Defensive Player of the Year.
Wait, one last thing. Chuck and Fletch, did you both have Lou Will at number one?
Yeah. We don't need to.
And I just want to say one last thing. I had Montrez at 2. I actually didn't have D.
I like.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
I like Montrez, but I think
he's not going to contribute as much as D Rose.
That's the first time you didn't say Montrezl. I'm proud of you.
I know.
I've been working on it. I've been working on it.
It's like when people used to sit in a room for 10 minutes just saying on tete.
Yeah, dude.
That's what I did with Montrez.
It's like practice.
All right. Let's move on to defensive player. No, actually, do you guys want to go to
most improved?
Let's go to Coach of the Year.
Coach.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
I think we can move on.
Number 3, I got Brett Brown.
Brett
Of the
Brown.
Sixers.
At 3? That's actually exactly what I had. I've had Brett Brown at 3.
I think it's a solid choice.
I think I'm going to say a couple of people that I actually don't have on my list real quick. I have D'Antoni at number 4.
I have D'Antoni at 4.
And I have Budenholzer at like 5.
Okay.
Because I think there's
Budenholzer.
2 coaches above Brett Brown that are actually going to do really well this year.
Yeah. So just a little bit on Brett Brown.
I have all 3 of mine in the West, just so you know.
So Scott.
I do not.
So his system
I do too.
has really worked for the Sixers so far. Like this whole big playing Ben Simmons at point guard thing and having shooters. I'm just really curious on how the Sixers are going to do without having a lot of shooters, and their main shooter is going to be like Tobias Harris. But I think if he makes it work, he's going to deserve it. That's why he's at 3 for me, though. Because if it doesn't make it work, and Sixers are like a 3 seed or
And
something,
lose in the second
then
round
he's not
again.
going to win it.
I think this
But you
team
know
is
what?
actually going to do really well, though, because they also have a really big lineup, which actually helps with defense and rebounding. And both of those, is very important.
But that's one of the really weird things with the Sixers is a lot of people are picking them to go to the finals and even win the championship. And the thing is, this is a team that I saw last year who lost in the second round and got worse over the offseason. But at the same time, the players that they added just give them such a unique blend of size and like
defense,
Al Horford,
and then
like,
Matisse coming off the bench, who's already a lockdown defender as a rookie player. So I mean, I think this team's going to do really well.
It's going to be interesting. But I think if it pans out, he'll be.
Let's move on to Fletch. What did Fletch choose for number 3?
All right, so number 3, I said Budenholzer.
Okay,
I agree.
Yeah.
That's a good choice.
Budenholzer, he really ties the Bucks together and just gives them that.
It's that same system.
Anyone last year?
System he had in Atlanta.
They just have such great chemistry, and I think you have to attribute a lot of that to Budenholzer.
And they're such a good defensive. They're all around a great team.
Yeah, there's not much you need to say.
So I actually had 3 put Doc Rivers of the Los Angeles Clippers. I think that one of the things that always gets guys in for the Coach of the Year discussion is when their win total goes up significantly, and I think definitely this team's probably going to be a top 2 or 3 seed in the West now.
Well, Fletch and I will talk about
the way that he's combining Kawhi and like the rest of that team so fluently, he's integrating this all-star.
He's giving
really
Kawhi
amazing.
the keys.
And he has experience from his time in Boston with integrating new all-stars very fluently.
Paul Pierce having to play with Ray Allen and Kevin Garnett.
Totally.
It's working out. So my number 2, I actually had Doc Rivers. So
Doc Rivers?
Doc Rivers at number 2.
Doc Rivers? Yeah.
What do you have?
For number 2.
I know his team is probably going to take a small step back, but I think you also need to still respect his system and what he's going to be able to do with the talent he has around him. It's Steve Kerr.
I knew you were.
I have him at like 7. I think he's a lot later.
Steve Kerr.
I love Steve Kerr. I think Steve Kerr is a great coach, but I don't think he's going to come close this year.
His system, ever since he was hired, making Draymond the middleman, having Clay and Curry run off ball screens, it's worked.
Beautiful.
But right now,
I don't think
Clay's
his
injury
system was
and D'Angelo's style of play,
and then like they also don't have Clay for Clay's defense.
The problem is their win total's going to drop.
The win total is going to drop
significantly.
Think about the talent he has to work with. Yes, he still has like Curry, but he's got Draymond on the
I
drop
don't think he's
off.
gonna deserve.
I don't think
They
I
don't
don't
have
think
the
he's
same
gonna do this
bench
year.
that they had.
They
in
don't
the
have the same
championship
bench,
years.
and yet he's still gonna lead them to maybe even a 50-win team.
I don't think
they're
50
a
wins.
great-
I think okay. Let's
great.
go to Scott's number 2.
At 2, I actually had Quinn Snyder of the Utah Jazz.
Okay.
I think
Okay.
Utah could
Okay.
make leaps and bounds this year.
I can respect.
I think
I
they could
respect
get
it,
like a
but
top 3 or 4
Honestly,
seed.
I think
the
this
Jazz
team.
are a weird team. For me.
I think this team looks like they're gonna, like on paper, it looks like such a great team. But right now, I mean, I know it's
they're
early
gonna
on in the
match.
season.
Donovan Mitchell's
They
been
don't
popping
look.
off.
They don't look like they're
Mitchell-
meshing well.
I think
because
Mitchell's
do-
super
do-
underrated.
Which is
okay,
what I was
do we
saying
not
last
talk about
podcast that
Mike
you guys
Conley?
were trying to clown on me
Mike
for. I was
Conley.
saying
He had his
that-
worst game.
He had his
He
worst.
shot
the
he
worst
shot
game of his career.
6% from the field
worst
in
game
the
of
first
his
game.
career.
I think it was
6%.
1 of 16 or something
Yeah,
like
1 of
that.
16.
That
Worst
is
game of his career.
absurd. That is absurdly bad.
But we can count on him to be better, and they still got a W in
That's
that
true.
first game, even with Conley shooting 1 of 16.
Who they play
I
again?
think
I forgot.
the Thunder. I think
And they
Spider
competed against the
Mitchell.
Lakers. They
Spider
competed.
Mitchell's
They did
extremely
compete.
underrated. This is a dude who's been averaging
But
24
Mike Conley
points
also
per
didn't play
game
that
and
well
leading the
against
team to
Lakers.
the
He played him.
playoffs.
He played him
Exactly. So
well.
imagine when Mike Conley shows up. The Mike Conley we know.
But I'm nervous about that team. I'm nervous. I'm not sure.
I'm nervous. I don't.
My
feel
number
it's
two?
gonna mesh
What do you?
My number
Yeah,
2
you're not
right now is Michael Malone.
Okay.
I think
I
think
like that.
he's gonna. I think he's gonna be such a
I
great
can
coach this year.
understand that pick.
He, like as the Nuggets coach, I think he's gonna actually bring this team. I think just such an overall team. This team is just beautiful.
He's
I
done
think it's
such a
beautifully
great
made.
It's been
job.
made.
It's beautifully made. I think this team. I think he's really going to be top 2. He might even win, but personally, I have someone else at number 1. Fletcher agrees with me on this one.
I love,
But-
but I just like to say real quick, I love the way Mike.
Y'all
Conley
definitely
uses
have Doc
Jokic.
he is
Rivers at
such.
number one.
He has such a beautiful.
I love the way
Definitely
he
a Doc Rivers.
Oh,
at
for
number
sure.
one.
Oh yeah.
I put
Oh,
Mike Malone at number 1.
I put
I,
Mike Malone.
I like Mike Malone.
I think the Nuggets could very well get the number 1 seed in the Western Conference.
I agree. That's what I was saying.
I-
And I
That's what I
think
was saying.
the way their system works
I-
around
It's
Jokic
beautiful.
is
It's beautiful.
It reminds me of what Steve Kerr did. However, Jokic is such a better scorer than Draymond Green, so it works out.
And a better passer too.
Yeah.
Yeah, but let's move on to Chuck's number. Oh wait, you already talked about it.
Yeah, Mike Malone.
But let's
Doc
talk about
Rivers,
Doc
number
Rivers,
one.
number 1.
We just talked about Doc Rivers.
No, but I mean, we didn't really talk about
He's
it. You
gonna be
guys
number
talked
one
about it.
because-
We wanted to save him for later
He's a-
because I think Doc Rivers is going to make... This team is just perfect. Like,
doesn't
this
even
team...
have PG
The
yet. He's
things,
blowing
the
out
things that
everyone.
everybody was, like, worried about this team not doing well, they're actually killing it.
They're doing great.
Yeah.
But I think he's going to be so good this year.
Yeah, I agree. Okay. Let's move on to what do we want to do? Most improved?
Let's do most improved.
Yeah, most improved.
Do we have most improved
Okay.
defensive player and MVP
We got most
left?
improved defense
Yeah.
player. MVP.
Okay, we're going to have to go quick.
Okay.
Because, yeah.
All right.
So
Most
most
improved.
improved.
We'll do this quick. I got Ben Simmons at 3.
Ben Simmons.
I like
Ben
that.
Simmons
He's
can-
an all-star.
I
But
think
if-
he's
I
going to be a
know.
beast.
Exactly.
Chuck, if you look
If
at
Ben
his
Simmons can make
advanced
some threes, I
metrics,
think he's
if you look at his
That's
advanced
good.
metrics,
He's
man,
gonna make probably,
his
what,
PER
like
last
15
season.
threes?
I think he's a beautiful
Beautiful.
player. I really like Ben
I
Simmons.
like Ben
but
Simmons, but I just don't see most
I don't
improved.
see
Not
most
gonna be
improved this year.
improved.
His
But-
PER last season was exactly the same as it was his
Yeah.
first season. He showed literally
But
no
he's
signs of
looking
improvement.
like he's actually making signs of improvement in his game. But let's move on to Fletcher's because
All right, I got Shea Gilgeous.
I have him at number 2. I have him at number 2. I
Shea-
think Shea is
He
especially
wasn't even on the board for me to begin the year, but
Yeah.
then he's come out and he's shown.
He's played well.
I have
He's
Shea
such
at
a
number
beast.
1
He's
for
shown
me.
some-
I
have
like
Shea
Shea.
number
Shea
one.
number 1.
yeah.
Shea's
He's
not even
averaging,
on my
he's
list.
averaging like 25 so far this season.
I think
Shea
he's the
looks
number 1
amazing.
scoring
Shea
option
looks
on
like a
that team.
beautiful player.
He's a
I really
fantastic
like his
defender.
offense.
He's got great length.
And he's a good shooter. He's a good.
Yeah.
He's an overall great player.
My number 3 though, and this might come as a little bit of a
Just go,
surprise.
just
Hear me
go.
out. It's Markelle Fultz.
Okay. You know what? I respect
I
that.
like
can
that.
I think
respect
Fultz.
I like
A
that.
He's
little
been
bit of a
playing a little
clown
bit better
move.
in his Magic debut. You know, if you guys saw that dunk, it was very nice for him to show off his athleticism
What's
again.
his free throw
you know?
percentage?
We're not going to talk about that. But he actually he
It's a
scored.
work in progress.
He scored like 12 points in the first game or so. You know, I think and the thing is, most improved from 0 to 12 is a pretty big improvement.
Honestly.
Yeah, I mean, I think he could be a solid contributor to a Magic team.
I think I actually have one that's going to surprise you, but Bam Adebayo.
Okay.
I think
I could see
I
that.
think he's
That
going
doesn't
to do
surprise
really
me at
well.
all.
Yeah,
I think
no,
he's going
me
to do
neither.
really well this year. I think,
It's a name
like,
I-
especially with Hassan gone. Hassan, I know he was on a minute restriction, but he still took up a
But
little
he
bit
still
minutes
took
from
up-
Bam.
His
I
backup
know
center is Myers Leonard. He's gonna get a lot of minutes.
he's going to get a lot of minutes.
Didn't Myers start game 1?
Did
Myers
he?
started game 1.
Did he really?
No, I think
Oh, boy.
Bam might have
I
played.
thought Bam started.
I think Bam started, but I think Myers actually might have
No,
played
Myers
power
started.
forward.
Well, Myers got that mad drip
Myers-
from 3, so they're comfortable starting him at power.
Yeah.
Myers was the Blazers' leading scorer against the Warriors. So
Oh, Lord. Let's
Alright,
not
that's
talk
it.
about
number
that
2, most
Blazers.
improved. I have Malcolm Brogdon.
Brogdon's nice.
Could see that.
He was injured for a good chunk of last year, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that could be part of it too.
Led the league in free throw percentage last year.
50, 40, 90 club.
Yep. Given the starting point guard spot this year in Indiana, which is a team that could
Really
do
good.
really
Looking
good,
really good.
or do really bad depending on how this year goes. Oladipo is going to come back at some point this year. I think Malcolm Brogdon, once Oladipo comes back, think he could possibly average upwards of 15, 20 points. I think he could possibly average upward of 6 to 7 assists.
I agree. I think he's looking nice. Let's go to Fletcher's number 2.
Okay,
All right. My number 2, it's actually Marvin Bagley. Mainly
Okay.
because
I
of
really
what
like
he
Marvin
can
Bagley.
do. Mainly because of what he can do on the defensive side of the court. He's got all the tools to be a great
But he's out for a
It's
while.
too
He's
bad
out for
he's
I think
hurt.
6
It's
to 8
too bad
weeks
he's
right
hurt.
now.
Yeah,
So I
he's
mean,
out
I
for
think
6
that's
to 8 weeks.
definitely going to hinder his.
It's going to hinder his chances, but
But
he's a great
I
defender.
I think he's going to be a star later on in his career. I really like Marvin Bagley. I think he's going to kill
I'm
it.
high on Marvin Bagley.
Yeah.
Scotty.
And my number 2, I actually put Triple J's. Jaren Jackson Jr.
Okay.
is my guy. I love him in Memphis. I love what he was doing last year. And with Ja,
That's a
with
good
Ja
choice. He's
running
got some
the
good
point
tools.
guard,
Yeah.
I think that's going to help him out a ton. So far this season, he's averaging 20 points and 7 rebounds.
Jaren Jackson.
Last year, he was 14 and 5. I just think Ja will really help him, improve his game, especially with Ja's passing abilities. And I think Triple J's is going to be the number 1 scoring option on this
I
team.
agree.
I already talked about mine. I said Shy, but
Yep.
let's go on
Okay.
to Chuck.
Number 1, Fred VanVleet.
Fred VanVleet.
Fred VanVleet.
Okay, I feel like this might be a little bit of an overreaction to the first game because he had 8 in the second game, but I can still see it. I can still see it,
He's
I
especially
think
with
he's
his
been given
increased
the
role.
start-
He's really looking nice. I think also
I
I could
watched
see
him-
Jaren Jackson. I think Jaren Jackson need to be up there too. I really like Scott's choice because Jaren Jackson's really killing
Watching
it.
every
But
game of the NBA Finals and then watching the beginning of this season,
He looks like
he has made leaps.
Exactly.
He has made leaps.
Even in between playoff series, like his, I think it was
Yeah.
before
His son
the
was born.
Warriors, he was like,
Yeah,
man,
after his
and
son
then-
was born,
His
he
son
went
got
off.
born.
his
Yeah.
son
My
made
man
him a
popped
beast.
off. My man popped
The
off.
man
Exactly.
went
Crazy on him.
He is actually, he's kind of known for this crafty shooter and playmaker, gets up his own shot, but he's become a finisher. If you watch that first game, he had 4 5s and 1s.
He's learned to do it all.
He's learned to do it all.
And I think that's really going to help his chances. Plus, he's still going to be on
And
a
he
solid
plays
team
for a
with a good
Raptors.
record.
He plays for the Raptors.
I agree. I think this team is going to be really good.
I think
I could see it. I could totally see it.
All right.
But we need to move on to Scott. Scott.
For my number 1, I put Shea Gilgeous. I already said this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, so we can move on
Got
to
defensive
defensive player of the year.
Number 3, I got Hassan Whiteside.
I love Hassan, but I don't
love
see him
Hassan,
top.
but he's
not
at the top
I
of
was
it.
thinking about it before the season, but I think
I would put him at my 5.
Okay.
I put him at my 5 too. I agree with
I
that.
think he's got here's my argument. He's got just that much more minutes this year now that he's not on his little weird thing with Miami.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's been kind of given the keys to the Blazers defense because we ain't really got a lot of defenders.
We ain't got that
We ain't got a
defense.
lot of defenders.
But once Nurkic comes back,
Once
too,
Nurkic comes
it'll
back,
diminish
yeah.
his
But
numbers a bit.
I think if he can get up his stats right now, and he's getting a ton of boards anyway, so
Yeah.
I
and that's actually important to
believe
give
in
a defensive
Hassan.
player of the year too.
I believe in Hassan.
All right, let's talk with Fletch.
All right, so my defensive player of the year, number 3, was actually Kawhi. It's Kawhi.
I was thinking about him at Kawhi at number 3, but I put him at number 2.
I put Kawhi at 2.
I think
The
he
thing
just
is,
he just locked up LeBron that
I
first
wanna
game
put
and
him
really
higher.
I
impressed
put
him.
Kawhi at 2.
I want to
agree.
put Kawhi higher, but he just likes to rest during the regular
Totally.
season.
That's
the
true,
load
but-
management
So I
thing was
think
what
that-
kept him off of
Yeah.
1 for me.
I put Kawhi.
You're gonna be surprised at my number 3, I think, but you're gonna see it.
Because I legitimately
that's
think
gonna hurt
Kawhi
his
Leonard
chances.
could be the best defender in the league, but like you said, it's just the load management.
Yeah,
that keeps him
exactly.
off.
That's
so
what
I
I
put
was
him at 2. I put Joel Embiid at 3. Actually, I think he's a
okay.
good defender,
But I
great
think-
shot blocker.
Yeah, I agree with
Great
that.
shot
but
blocker.
Yeah.
Joel is
Very
also
crafty.
I think the key for him is
the
staying
biggest
healthy.
hinder
Yeah.
to Joel Embiid's career so far has been
Injuries.
how many games he's played.
Totally.
I think
That's-
it's I don't think he's played above 65 games. Yeah,
No,
he's-
yeah.
in a season.
in a
Yeah.
season. In a
That's
season.
what kept him at 3
That's
for
why
me
my bad.
instead
I
of
didn't
higher.
say season. But yeah, my number 3.
Don't say it.
Who?
Don't say Matisse Thybulle.
No. Andre Drummond.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I can
I
respect
see.
that.
You look at
Okay.
him
And the
right
award
now,
typically
he's
goes to big men, too.
Yeah, and he's really killing it.
I can
right
respect
now.
it.
He's really killing it right
I
now.
can respect it.
Yeah, I
Andre
think.
Drummond is amazing.
I mean, his first game, what do you have? 36, 24, and 4 blocks?
Yeah, it
and
was
also
insane.
Yeah.
he's also
was
one
a
an
monster.
underrated. He can steal the ball
Well,
Yeah, it's because
he can kind of snatch it from other big men a little bit.
It's kind of like one of those big men going up with the ball low and he just sticks a hand in.
He just sticks a hand
and
in
then he
it.
gets a steal.
It's kind
But,
of like a
yeah,
block/steal.
He's a good stealer. Like as you can see in his career, he's averaged 1.3 steals per game. But
He's always
last
been
year,
like a kind
last
of,
year was
always been a good
1.7, and right now he's averaging 2.5 and 2.5 blocks and 3.5 steals.
Through 2 games.
Yeah, that's respectable.
Yeah, but still. All right, let's go on.
My
to
number 2 was Kawhi.
Yeah,
so
we already talked about that.
We
Fletch.
already talked about Kawhi. My number 2 was Giannis, actually.
Oh, you bastard.
I don't think he's gonna be top 3. I don't think he's gonna be top 3. Don't get me
I
wrong.
think he'll be top.
Whoa,
I
not
don't
top 3?
I don't have it number 3.
I put him at 4.
I put him at 1.
I put him at 4.
I feel that. I feel
I
that.
put him at 4.
I put Gobert at
You
1.
animal.
You put Gobert at 2.
1. I put
Wow.
Gobert.
Oh, no, he
Wow,
ain't even
no,
top
no,
3.
no.
Hey,
All right,
guys,
all right,
let me remind you.
real quick. Let's go in the circle. Let's see. So you had your number 2. What was it again?
Giannis Antetokounmpo.
I like Giannis Antetokounmpo, but I think he's going to be number 4. I think he's a great defensive player,
Don't
but
sleep.
I think there's just so many good defensive
too
players.
late.
Man's too long and too athletic.
All right,
I'm
Scott.
sorry.
What's your number 2? What's your number 2?
Mine was Kawhi.
He's sleeping.
Oh yeah, okay. My number 2 was also Kawhi. So let's go to
He's
number 1.
sleeping.
Let's go to number 1.
My number 1 is Giannis Antetokounmpo.
I can
Fletch.
totally
Already
see that.
talked
I
about
can
him.
totally see
He's
that.
got all the tools to do it. He
That's
can
true.
do it if he wants to.
I mean,
Fletch.
My number 1 is actually Anthony Davis.
That's what
Wow,
I put.
okay.
That's what I
It's
put.
actually Anthony
That's what I
Davis.
put.
he's a good defender.
It's-
I don't know top
He's a-
defensive player of the year
Anthony
candidate.
Davis.
He's-
He's so
Yeah.
skilled defensively.
He's
He's so skilled
dominates in the
defensively.
post.
He does.
Yeah, that's true.
Whenever he
Yeah. I
plays.
could actually
Exactly.
see
He's
that.
the anchor to the Lakers on defense.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay.
I totally have him.
I
I
understand
totally
that.
have him number. But
I wouldn't put him over
let's
Giannis,
not
but
let's
okay.
not forget. Usually defensive player of the year goes to a player that's also leading the best defensive team. So it could also very well be Kawhi. I think it's gonna be Kawhi or
But that's
AD.
why
I think
Kawhi was
it's
so
Kawhi.
high.
That's why I
we
put
already
Kawhi in
talked about
too.
it. He just doesn't play.
He just-
in the
yeah.
regular season.
Your number 1 was
Exactly.
Rudy
So
Gobert.
mine
Can
was
we
Gobert.
trash Rudy Gobert for a second?
Yes, but
Yeah.
hear me out. This isn't who I think the best defender in the league is. This
Who
is
you
who
think
I
will win
think
the
that
award?
will win the defensive
Again,
player.
with the MVP.
And I think,
Like,
again, he
yeah.
plays a ton of games and he gets a ton of blocks and he's a big
That's
man
true.
who the award consistently goes to. He's won it 2 times already. And so
And the Jazz are
he's
a good
shown an
defensive team.
appreciation from the voters. And the Jazz are a good defensive team. You know? And I don't think he's the best defender in the league, but I think he's very, very likely to
Okay.
win it again.
That's a good argument.
That's a good
That's a
argument.
good argument.
I just
but-
don't see it happening.
but
I don't
no.
see it happening.
I
next
can
year.
understand that.
I think he's gonna be like 5 this year.
Right. MVP.
All right, big one.
Big one.
Number 3.
Last one. Number 3. Nikola Jokic.
Me too.
Me too.
Oh,
Jokic.
I have
Me
him
too.
at 2.
Nikola Jokic
Alright.
is at 3 for me.
I have him
It's
at
just-
2.
Nuggets are one of the best teams in the league.
He's a
Jokic
passing-
is arguably the best passer in the league
Probably,
right now.
well, obviously,
And
the best
this is
center,
the year where
probably
he
one of the
breaks
best
through
passers.
20
He
points
is-
per game as a scorer.
Yeah.
He's amazing. He gets
Absolutely.
he gets the boards.
And he's a good
he gets the
rebounder.
points,
And
he's a good
he's
rebounder.
One thing is-
He
he's a
figured out
re-
this last playoff series how he can be the guy and how he can score.
Although
Also-
I
also
think part of that
asserted
is
himself
everybody
as-
says he dominated the Blazers. That's true, but part of that was he was
It's
playing
Enes
against
Kanter.
Enes
Playing against
Kanter
Enes
Kanter.
with
It's
the
Enes
shoulder
Kanter.
injury, who was already like the worst
but
defensive
he
center in
did
the
put
league.
up 23 on Hassan Whiteside
Yeah.
while not playing in the first half.
He's
Yeah.
very good.
So,
Okay, another real quick thing. Who did they pick up again from OKC? I forgot which. It was a big man. Was it
The Nuggets?
I always forgot. Yeah, the Nuggets. It was either Nerlens Noel.
Jeremy
or
Grant.
Jeremy Grant. That's
Jeremy
it.
Grant.
I think another big thing that we need to talk about is how Jokic last year, one of the big complaints about him was that he couldn't defend other bigs. And I think he actually is going to help save his legacy right now in this year because I think he's going to help cover over those bigs that he always has such a hard time defending. So I think he's just going to look so much better.
he's
And
just-
I really think he's going to be a top
he'll be
MVP.
top.
I mean, I'm
He's just a
concerned
little
with
too thick
Jokic's.
to move with all those-
Who is your number
I'm
3?
concerned
My
with
number
Jokic's
three is
speed,
Kawhi.
but, like,
Okay.
I have Kawhi.
Okay.
Again, the load
Kawhi-
management.
Kawhi
but
was my number 2.
this is the best.
I didn't put him on my
This is
top
the best
3,
team in
but
the
I
league.
could totally see him
He's
winning
not a
MVP.
best team in
It's
the
just
league.
load management.
This is the best team in the league. Let's be real.
That's why I put him
Clippers
as my
is the
number
best
2.
team in the league. But
Best player on the best team.
yeah, I think we can go on to your number 2. You already
Which
said
was
Kawhi, and
yeah,
then
best
Fletcher's
player on the
number
best
2.
team.
And then my number 2 is actually LeBron if he can.
Wow.
average-
Oh no,
Nope.
no, no,
If
not
he
this
can
year.
average
Nope.
numbers
Hey,
like he did
just
in the
let the
second
man
game
speak.
of the year,
That's
LeBron
true.
James is a playoff player now.
if he can average,
I think he's
numbers
got too many
like-
years, too many miles on the tires.
Too
you
many
know what I'm
miles.
saying?
I think he's gonna kill it this year still. I
But
think he's
I
still
can
gonna
see him
do
winning
really
MVP.
well.
Fletch.
But I don't think he's gonna
Okay,
win.
I
MVP.
He's
can't, I'm
already averaging.
Honestly, I would see AD making MVP.
He's
over him.
averaging like
Yeah, I
a
agree.
triple double off what, like 48% field goal percentage. He's
His-
averaging over a steal a game.
But
He's
Not good
averaging
enough. Westbrook averaged triple double.
He's averaging half a
His
ball.
pick
Yeah,
and
but
roll
he-
with Davis is
Westbrook's
unstoppable.
efficiency.
He's doing it twice as
Yeah.
efficient
Yeah.
as Russell Westbrook. Westbrook is doing. Okay.
I could see that, Fletch.
Yeah.
Okay.
Scotty, number 2.
You
Okay,
always have
I
to-
put Curry. Now I know there's going to be some
That's
overreactions to game
I can
one.
see it. Top 5 for me.
That's fair.
Not
He's just
I
gonna
know.
be on
I
too
can
low
definitely
of a
see it.
seeded team.
Yeah,
Too
but
low
I
seeded
think
team
I
for
think
me.
the Warriors could get like a 5 seed, and if
Could.
they get like a
I'm really-
5
They
seed,
could be
and
high.
he's
I need to
averaging
see
like
Curry come back to his
that
MVP.
first
Curry
game. That
really
first
goes
game was
back
bad, but I
Unanimous
think he could get
form.
up to averaging.
But I mean, I
30
think
a
that was
game.
also because he was getting guarded by Pat Bev
And Kawhi.
and Kawhi. But he also had, I think it was 9 turnovers, which is
He had a lot of turnovers.
really
Yeah.
bad for him.
Yeah.
It was gross.
Yeah.
But
that was
again,
not a
there's
good
going to
game
be
for
some kinks in working out the new system and the new flow with D'Lo. I think
My number
as the
2
season goes on, he'll get better.
him. My number 2 was Jokic, and we already talked about him, so we can move on to number 1.
All right.
I think we might all actually
Giannis.
agree.
Giannis.
Yeah.
Giannis.
Giannis.
Everybody agrees?
Giannis.
Yeah, Giannis is just
He's-
overall just
Best player.
amazing.
He's
And-
adding a mid-range shot to his game.
I
I
would
think he's
not.
going to be the
three-point
second best
shot
player in the
to
league
his
this year.
game.
Second best player in the league, behind Kawhi, obviously.
I
That's
wouldn't
why
be
I-
surprised if he didn't win the award, but I think he should be
But
the
I
favorite.
think he
He
should.
should Because look, he's also such a good passer. Like, this is an underrated side to him.
It's
He's
good- it's
really been
Budenholzer's
passing well.
system.
Yeah,
With the shooters surrounding him.
With the shooters
With the
surrounding
shooters
him.
around him,
Yeah.
and
It's
then
what
he's
the
also,
Thunder tried
he's
to
such a
do.
good scorer, a
What
great
the Thunder
defender.
attempted to do but failed.
He's a great defender, great
Yeah.
rebounder. Everything
He's
about his
amazing.
game is beautiful. There's one big flaw to him, and that's shooting.
And that's
but
shooting.
he's
And he's
still
working
a
on it.
great
Still-
player.
He's working on
He's
it.
improving. Do you remember his
he
October
gets
numbers?
Awful.
last
Yeah.
It was awful. It was awful.
And then you go to June and May, and you
And he
look at
wins
his
every
shooting numbers
Yeah.
from October, which was like 17% from the three,
yeah,
to like May, which
I
was
saw
like
this. I saw this.
36%.
I think it was no, it was 30. It was like 33. But
33?
still,
I mean,
that's so much.
everybody
That's a big
improved.
improvement.
Everybody harps about his shooting, but he gets his regardless.
Yeah.
Like,
Mhm. And he's
he
still
is
killing.
so dominant. He's the most
it's
dominant
like
player
they
in the
just
league
yeah,
since Shaquille
exactly.
O'Neal.
They just find a way to hate because like people just like to find a way to hate.
Yeah.
You know,
People
but
just don't want to appreciate greatness.
yeah, but like people just say, oh,
People
he
just
can,
don't
oh,
wanna
he can
appreciate
only
greatness.
drive. Well, if that's the case, then stop him driving.
Then stop him
Then
driving.
stop him
Exactly.
driving.
I guarantee you can.
And he can defend all
And-
5 positions.
Yeah,
And
that's true.
Have y'all seen that video of him teaching Justin the Laser how to Euro step? Like I'm serious. Like the way his mind works based on like how he maneuvers his body around people, it's absolutely incredible.
I think one of my favorite moments from the season so far has been the one block on Harden. We all know that they're kind of not feuding. I think Harden is more feuding with Giannis
No,
than
Giannis is chill with everybody.
I think
Yeah,
Giannis doesn't really
doesn't
care.
Giannis
care.
is just a good
But
guy.
let's
Giannis-
just talk about him absolutely blocking the hell out of him so hard. It was so funny. I was laughing so hard about that.
Did you guys
Yeah.
see Anthony Davis try to lob to Dwight Howard
Yeah.
last night and it went in for 3?
That's great.
That's just how good he.
It was yeah.
That was great.
All right, so those are our award predictions for this year.
Thank you for watching.
Thank you for watching. We tried to make this one a little bit shorter. We will come back with an NFL video as soon as we can. We might record it today. We might not. We'll see. Thank you for watching. This has been The Last Word.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.